10. Look at that. This is way better. All right. Okay, Mike. Explain to my nerdy friends what we're doing here. This game here is epic. I
Um,
love it.
Essentially, this is a game done by Fantasy Flight Games. It's a tabletop game, so there's really no board, and it's based on certain units being able to move um, differently. So there's movement sticks and dials and other things like that. But it's called Star X-Wing miniatures game, where it puts you in a dogfight. So it's a dogfight scenario. You'll pick out ships and you build a squad. Um, each ship has a certain value attached to it. So you're to balance the game, each player gets 100 points, and out of that 100 points, they can pick um, any number of ship adding to that value. Each ship has a point value ascribed to it, of how much it's worth. There's different pilots for each ship. So with Slave One, the big one for all you casual nerds out there that you'll recognize is Boba Fett.
Boba.
And so you can fly Slave One with the pilot Boba Fett or any other heroes that are in the expanded universe. And each one has a different kind of ability. So if you've played Pokemon before or Yu-Gi-Oh, they'll have the cards that you deal out, but instead of just playing your cards, the cards are just kind of there. I'm horrible at explaining this. Anyways, the cards give you the stats of each ship, how many attack dice it can roll, how many defense dice it can roll, how many hit points it has, and shields. So the orange number is based on the pilot skill. So this pilot skill would be 7, and that determines who moves first and who attacks first. The red number is your attack value. You'll be able to roll 2 attack dice. Your green number is your evade or agility. So how much defense dice you can roll. Your yellow is your hull, how many damage that you need to take before your ship is destroyed. And then the blue is how many shields. Your shields will get depleted before you start taking damage to the hull. So some ships have more shields, some ships have less. Some are more agile than the others. If you're not a nerd, this would be like taking the difference between like an F-16 and a stealth bomber, how they have different stats and different speeds and even armament on them. Basically take that and put that into Star Wars ships. Each ship has a different speed, has different maneuvers that they can do. And so if you like Top Gun and you like Star Wars,
Oh
this
yeah.
basically is a good combination between the two. Dog fights and Star Wars. So it really allows you to feel like you're in the Star Wars movies and seeing your ships maneuver and having them do barrel rolls and all those other cool, crazy things. It is kind of an expensive game. The base game is like around $40, and that starts you off with just one X-wing and 2 Tie fighters. So it would give you just kind of the Rebel player 1 X-wing and the Imperial player two Tie fighters to play with, and that'll get you the dice that you need, the maneuver sticks, and how to play with anything else. Then there's expansion packs that come with it. So this game kind of will nickel and dime you. Um, and so you can buy expansion packs, which will allow you to have like the infamous B-wing, the Millennium Falcon,
Oh.
and this each set will come with the pilots. Usually, when you buy an expansion pack, it'll come with 4 different pilots that you can equip on your ship to subscribe to fly it, and then it'll come with upgrade cards. So these are upgrade cards, and each ship can get a different set of upgrades. It depends on the ship. Not every ship can just have like 20 missiles on it or torpedoes and stuff. So like your X-Wing, if I remember correctly, gets one torpedo upgrade and one elite pilot skill. Whereas your Millennium Falcon gets one missile upgrade, two crew members, and one elite pilot skill being able to upgrade. And so at the bottom of every pilot card, you'll see what upgrades they're able to be assigned. So this allows for each ship to be equipped or modified slightly in different variants. So you'd be essentially playing with two X-Wings or two Millennium Falcons on the field with vastly different capabilities because of what they're upgraded with. So it kind of keeps the game different every time. So you
have Empire, Rebels, and
Scum and Villainy. So there's 3 different factions. If you buy the base game, it comes with Imperial and Rebel factions, and then they ended up coming out with a 3rd faction called Scum and Villainy, which would give you like your Boba Fett, your IG-88 robot bounty hunter, the different bounty hunters and villainies that are in the Star Wars realm as a 3rd faction that you can play as, and they'll give you access to those ships. So it is kind of expensive, but it's super fun.
Oh yeah.
If you're the only nerd in your group, you're probably going to be buying both sides.
Yes.
Both sides of the expansion packs. But if you have a group of nerds that you play with, like one can be like, hey, I'm just going to buy Rebel ships because I love the Rebels, and I don't know why you would. And the others
Rebels
could buy the Empire.
And the measuring, like kind of the measuring for attacks.
To measure attacks, so each ship comes with a base, so you'll put your bases on them, and so each ship, let me get actually what we're playing with here. This is Ray, so these are the 2 ships that I'm playing with. I'm playing with the Millennium Falcon, and I can't pronounce it, but it's a Wookiee gunship. I'm not that nerd. I can't speak Elvish. And so the ships will have these kind of base pads, and so it'll tell you the direction that the ship is facing. And this is your forward-facing firing arc. So you'll have your primary weapon, which is, again, the weapon that's the red die, the red number that's denoted on your ship's card. And so your primary weapon will be out of your forward firing arc, or unless the card says otherwise. Like the YT-1300, the Millennium Falcon, its firing arc is in a 360-degree radius around it because of the turrets. If you remember, Han Solo and Luke Skywalker hopping into the turrets to fight their way out of the Death Star, away from the Death Star. So the Millennium Falcon can shoot all the way around. The Wookiee gunship has also a modified firing arc, this dotted line, which allows it to shoot an 180 degrees forward, giving it more range. But other ships, like the Y-Wing, can only fire out of its primary weapons. Now, or primary forward-facing fire arc. Now, if you equip it with the Millennium Falcon with missiles or any armament, other ordnances other than your primary weapon, it can only be fired if the enemy is within its forward-facing fire arc. So we'll probably end up setting a game up here and start playing.
Yep.
Right now,
so you can see it.
Each of us are kind of looking through the cards and building a 100-point squad fleet. That's a very brief rundown of it.
Yep.
But
Now you're just gonna watch, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set it up right
Yeah.
here.
It will take probably about a good 20 minutes before we're
Even ready.
ready. Um,
Let's see here.
so,
I need to get my little setup thing.
mm-hmm. And if you don't have a calculator, you might. But, but oh.
Not the happy baby.
Mm-hmm.
Poor little guy's too big. Let's make it hate life. Ooh, wow.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Wow. That's our thing.
Wow.
Wow.
Same ball yesterday.